Okay guys, let's talk about the Crystal Lake to Manhattan Friday the 13th box set put out by Paramount in 2004. From Crystal Lake to Manhattan. Nice wide shot of it. Here's some info if you can read it. 2004 was a... This thing's 20 years old. At the top says Friday the 13th. Inside it says Friday the 13th as well. Here's the back if you want to pause and read the synopsis and the special features. I know the one for part 3 is the funniest. We'll talk about part 3 in a minute. Here is part 1 and 2. Even the spine says Friday the 13th. Here is the synopsis for part 1. If you want to pause and read it. And here's the one for part 2 if you want to pause and read. Here is the disc. You got some reversible artwork. I wouldn't reverse it if I was you, but you can. Alright, here is Friday the 13th, part 3 and 4. And here is the back if you want to pause and read. Again, the spine says Friday the 13th, part 3 and 4. I wish the original DVDs from around the same time used this box art. There is the disc art. By the way, the synopsis or summary for part 3 says there are another camp counselors. There are no camp counselors in part 3. And this doesn't even... This makes more sense for like part 1 or 2, not part 3. And so that's kind of funny. I found that funny. Here is part 6, 5 and 6. This one is the original artwork that they had for the DVDs. Other than they added a blue chevron, because the original version of this image had red chevrons. And here's part 6, which I wish they would have used this image for the regular DVDs. Here is the back, if you want to read the synopsis. Sorry, the disc for this one likes to fall out. There's the disc. So I'm trying to not have it fall out. Here is part 7 and 8. Now the DVDs do use this box art. Alright, there's the back if you want to read it. Here is the disc. And then you get the Killers Extra disc, the Chronicles. These are documentaries about the series. If you want to pause and read that. I do have another copy of this. It came with the 2013 box set. Okay, I want to show you one other thing before you all go. So, hold on. So, this is new box art they made in 2003 for part 7. And this is the box art they used on the Crystal Lake Manhattan box set. They're very similar because they are the same image. That was my look at the Crystal Lake to Manhattan box set put out by Paramount in 2004 for Friday the 13th. Bye.